Good people, what's going on? As I said in the video before, we're talking about how food affects our mind, right? I'm always talking about how we can control our world through the power of our own mind, but what about the external sources that actually impact the way that we think, therefore the way that we feel, therefore the way that we behave, and the way that we behave shapes our world, right? And so right now I have with me Craig Conley, and I'll let you introduce yourself.
For sure. What's going on, guys? So Craig Conley here, senior at The Ohio State University. About to graduate in May, a couple months from now. And so my focus here is sports nutrition. I'm getting my degree in human nutrition, the focus in sports. And so I'll be going on to grad school this next fall at Florida State University, actually, to continue my academic and professional career, getting my master's in sports nutrition as well as exercise physiology. So obviously the physical aspect of fitness is huge, and that's what everyone thinks about, but then there's the mental side, which Jeff is honing in on for sure, and there's the emotional side, there's a spiritual side, there's everything that accumulates into being overall fit. And so my vision is to help people optimize their diet and then provide resources for them to optimize every other piece of their fitness to be able to live the best lifestyle possible.
Yeah,
so.
That's awesome, man. Appreciate that. And we're just going to go right into it. So basically, the very first question, the meat of this entire video, how does food affect the way that we think, feel, and behave? You know, what we eat, when we eat it, you know, our time frame and all that stuff. How does that truly affect the way that we think and therefore the way that we approach life?
Food, like you said, it's the way that we feel, the way that we think, everything. And food is one of the most social things on the planet. Like, think of the last event you went to.
Right.
What was there? There
was a lot of people. There was my family. There was a lot of food, a lot of talking, a lot of laughs, all that good stuff.
Exactly. So anything, birthdays, holidays, business meetings, whatever it is, like, there's going to be food involved in something. And those, so from a personal aspect, like, you have a lot of memories that are wrapped up in the food. You have a lot of, like you said, the timing or something. Food can remind you to do something. Like, I know for me, pancakes. Pancakes, that's my childhood. For real. Like, going to Bob Evans with my grandpa and just eating way too many pancakes. Like, it just gives me a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can just be the most simple thing. On a more kind of scientific level, I guess, there's plenty of neurotransmitters and stuff in our brain that the precursors to those neurotransmitters are nutritional aspects. So like serotonin, for example. In order to produce serotonin, you need tryptophan, which is an amino acid that is found in a bunch of meat products and stuff like that.
And so for people who may not know, why is it so important to produce serotonin in the first place?
Yeah. So serotonin is one of the big neurotransmitters that kind of controls depression. And so if your serotonin levels are kind of knocked out of whack, that's what is a contributor, obviously, to depression, like symptoms and stuff like that. And there's a lot of studies still being done on the research, and I'm sure you have looked into some of that stuff as well. But they're along with dopamine. So that great feeling that you get when you're eating something you enjoy or being around the people you enjoy, like that dopamine release is coming, and so you need nutritional aspects to get to that as well.
So what if, like, what's the balance, right? We sometimes eat comfort food or junk food because then it lights up that reward system in our brain, right? And we feel good when we eat it because it tastes very good, even though it might not be so good for us. So how do we balance that? You know, you have some people who are doing these crazy diets, and when they're dieting, their mood is very negative just because they're not able to have the food that they want, the pleasure food, right? So how do we go about diets in a way that's still going to be beneficial for our mood and the way that we go throughout every single day?
Even more, something that would help even more is kind of your mindset towards the diet that you're taking. I've heard you talk about your mindset towards something so many times. And on the nutritional aspect, it's finding a lifestyle that works for you, not really a diet. I really like to use the word lifestyle rather than like I'm gonna help you build a lifestyle. Right?
Yeah, I like
Because people
that.
hear the word diet, they're like,
It automatically has a negative connotation with it. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
But I was saying your attitude towards it. A lot of people when they think of the diet, they think of a restriction.
Exactly.
But I remember you saying, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it again. But you were saying something about how our mindset towards a certain situation, like if we think positive thoughts about it initially, it's going to turn out more positive. If you think negative thoughts about it initially, it's going to turn out more negative. Is that something you were saying before?
Yeah, that is so true. Because really, I mean, this is actually something I was getting ready to talk about in the next video, but our world is shaped by our internal filters. What are our internal filters? Basically, everybody has a different perception of the world around them, right? There's subjective perception. So you and I could be looking at, we could watch the same movie, right? Yeah. And someone would be like, oh, what was the movie about? You would have a slightly different, recap of what the movie was about because there are different points that stuck out to you than for me, right? And that's shaped by our internal filters, and our internal filters are shaped by our previous experiences, a lot of the times rooting from our childhood or the way that we were raised or experiences that we've had. That shapes what's important to us, what sticks out to us, what we like, what we don't like, right? Sure. And so because we have those internal filters, if we automatically approach something with the negative mindset of like, oh, this is going to suck, then you're going to find every single way in which that event that you're engaged in is going to suck, right? Is going to be bad, is going to be negative. And then vice versa, if you approach it with a positive mindset, right? That's just how powerful your mind is with shaping your filters and therefore giving you that subjective experience, which shapes your subjective reality.
Right, exactly. And I love everything you just said. I love because we focus on optimizing people's diets, right? But it's through education and developing healthy habits.
Right.
And one of those healthy habits is developing your mind.
Right.
Your approach into the diet. So like you said, if you're going in and those filters are negative, you're like, this diet is not going to allow me to do this. I can't eat this. I'm not going to be able to go out and do this.
Right.
You're not going to enjoy it. If you go in thinking this diet allows me to try new foods. This diet allows me to live longer. Right. This diet allows me to teach someone else how to optimize their health. This diet allows me to hang with my friends and be more active in that way, right? It's automatically going to start triggering things, like you said, that, okay, it might not be the same lifestyle you were living before, but it's got a whole nother set of benefits that you didn't even realize. Right. That's a big part of enjoying the diet, is just what you choose to look at.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and that clears up a lot about it as well. But for now, that's going to be it. You'll definitely see some more of Craig on these videos. And as always, good people, stay blessed.